Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
Drecksack is a word in German which means roughly 3 cheeses high. It is to designate a small child.
That might be the best one you've ever done.
Thank you.
I want to learn that word.
Can you say it again, please?
Drecksack.
Can you teach everyone at home how to say it?
Drecksack.
Drecksack.
That's to the best of my knowledge of Germanic pronunciation.
Can you like bring it, like break it apart so we can understand it?
No. And I'm Cameron.
Okay, go ahead.
You should use the hashtag Geeks Corner to talk at us in English, our preferred language. Though if you choose to speak German, we won't understand it.
Yeah, we won't.
Hashtag Geeks Corner.
You know some German?
I took 1 semester.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Anyway.
1 semester of German is my favorite Maroon 5 album.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you for patiently waiting as we start a show that we didn't know we didn't start. So we are now on the real internet instead of just the studio.
We're not on the
net.
fake internet anymore?
You know, it's
The
you
upside
never
down
really know.
internet.
It's a very interesting
Down
world. But
Down
we are live now and working. And we were live and working on Friday night as well.
We were.
Oh, segue.
See, I made up for it. Dance DTLA, where we took over the Music Center's Insta Story, which was
Glory.
a lot of fun, and we went on a really cool tour all around.
Cool tour.
It was a cool tour.
So cool.
Cat o' nine tails.
Why did you do that to us?
You know what? If it was the wrong time, it could have been cruel. But there was some shaking going on. But
a lot of shaking going on.
there was. My favorite part is nobody knew.
No, down on the floor, but it's like, what's the problem?
We're like up above. I'm like, everything's moving. Like,
Yeah.
you kind of felt it, but it
Safety
wasn't.
official said, hey, you guys gotta go. And everybody's like, why? I'm having fun.
It
I'm
was
dancing with
great.
my friends.
Yeah.
For a touch of behind the corner action, if you watch the video from the coverage, which is up and wonderful, by the way, you'll notice I'm not in very much of it. They weren't ignoring me. I actually work at the Music Center, so it was a great honor for me to be able to do my daytime job while they came and covered it for me and
fun.
did most of my work. So
Yeah.
I got to relax.
We had a lot of fun, and we got a really cool tour of Walt Disney Concert Hall, mainly getting to go up and around and see these skylines, and that was pretty awesome, I thought. And then also learning how to do the 2-step line dance, and
We tried the 2-step for like 2 seconds.
and then hip hop.
And then we decided it was too hard. But the hip hop, we did not decide it was too hard.
Though it was.
No, yeah. Though we had no right to be doing what we were doing, we did it anyway.
I just think anybody wearing a bow tie should never be connected with the words hip hop.
Oh no. For our entertainment, yes, it should. That was the best.
Say that to DJ Jazzy Jeff. He wears a bow tie quite often.
Yeah.
And a trilly?
No, doesn't do the trouble.
Okay,
You
maybe
never
it's
said
the
Trilby in the
combination.
first
He
time.
didn't. It's true.
I don't have to. I'm the host. I can amend what I'm saying.
Reality is fracturing.
If you are a Patreon member, you can see just how badly it looks
Chef's
to
kiss.
be I don't know,
You can see our humiliation for a price.
for a price.
Yes.
I'll give you a fine price.
Yeah,
boy.
that's exactly what. So talk about the evening, Katie. What was your highlight of
What
the night?
was my highlight was taking the horses to the Old Town Road. Easily. That was a very fun highlight.
Here's an interjection. And I'll ride till I can't no more. Is that an implication that the person chooses to give up on riding, or they're killing the horse? Which is happening?
The person gives up on the riding. They are not killing the horse.
Cool. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, no horses.
It really depends which part of the country you're from.
No horses were harmed in the making of Old
Because
Town
if this is like the narrative story of the Pony Express, them some dead horses.
So we are going to be nice and give you a little bit. This isn't the right video, so you're not going to get a preview.
Road. You're not getting a preview.
I was going to give a preview of what you could see on our Patreon, but I can't find it quickly enough. So
It is the
too bad.
best thing.
Very good.
It's amazing. And also featured in the Patreon is my horrific witch cackle that you
I found
probably hear on Geeks Corner multiple times a night.
You've watched the film Hocus Pocus, yes?
Yeah, that's me.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That was literally just you standing there, though.
No,
That's the technique.
that's
That's true. That's
a solid technique.
You ever going to talk about this rock, or are you just going to let people assume?
It's my rock. It's my Star Trek rock. It's a good rock, right, everybody? Apparently, everyone in the world knew that Think Geek was closing, besides me. I'm a little upset about it. Was that R2D2 coffee press on there? Because if that R2D2 French press was
I don't
on
think
there,
it was by the time I got there.
okay, because that thing has been sold out for the last like 4 years. Anyway, so I walked in today and there was presents on the desk, which I was confused as to why there was
It's
presents.
always a good
It
night.
really
at
should
Geek's
not
Corner.
be. It happens a lot.
It doesn't.
It
I think the
doesn't.
last time we had presents was when Alicia gave them to us.
Before we go on to The Rock, we do have to thank Steven for being our cameraman on Friday
That's
night
true.
because he did do an awesome job.
He really did.
My favorite moment from all of the videos was when he had a Cameron in his natural habitat and a Mr. Daps in his, and that is in all the videos.
That was really funny.
Maybe not the short video, but it's in the vlog. And Steven, you did a great job. Thank you for being our cameraman.
Friend Steven.
And
Friend Steven.
thank you for following along during our crazy antics.
And
Yes.
despite that, he kept introducing himself as Steve.
I don't know who that is.
All of us said, He'd be like, I'm Steve. We'd be like,
No.
I didn't hear a single person call him Steve the
Steven.
entire night. Anyway, Rock.
Rock.
Thank you, Steve.
So, is my rock. It changes colors, and you change the colors with a phaser.
That's the color of off.
Well played.
So, is my rock. I love it. I don't really
Did
have.
you name it yet?
Was I supposed to?
If you'd like to name this rock,
Geo!
give us- Oh, you can do that too. I was going to suggest people give us
No,
ideas for
you
names.
tentatively named Geo, but until then, send your.
I know we got some Jungle Cruise skippers watching on this thing, former and current.
I won't
think
take
there's
your
gonna be some
jokes
good
for
names coming
granted,
in.
Y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all.
y'all.
Okay. And Bailey's asking, does The Rock have a name? So send us your names for The Rock, and we'll let you know next week what it ends up being.
This is me heating the rock up.
Yeah.
It's the worst audio environment we're creating for ourselves here.
Okay. On last
I'm
weekend,
happy.
we also, besides dancing, we were doing some shaking, as we mentioned before, with earthquakes that
Yes.
happened in Southern California, which is a wonderful time to bring up earthquakes at Disneyland, which I've been through a couple of them. Have you guys ever been at Disneyland during
No.
an earthquake?
Present? No.
It's actually a very weird experience because first everything's shaking,
Yep.
and that part makes sense. But it's the after, because I don't think people think that, hey, once all of this stuff is moved, that they're going to have to check to make sure everything's safe. And so Disneyland, most of the attractions become completely empty and a ghost town, and like Grizzly River Run, the water actually all gets drained.
Just to check.
And so they're checking things out, and so we have a whole article up on the website where you can see safety tips for if you are in an earthquake at Disneyland. But very quickly off the top of your head, without having, maybe you haven't read this article, quick tips just in general, safety tips during an earthquake.
If you're in somewhere that's moderately safe, don't move. Too many people freak out and start sprinting in various directions. It causes a lot more panic than it needs to be. If you're outside under a clear blue sky, probably good.
Enjoy the weather.
Yep.
Yes. Doorway thing is a myth. So don't everybody cram under one doorway. That's a myth.
It is a good question of how many people can you cram in a doorway?
17 if you're really trying.
17?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Beards or no beards?
Half.
Half?
Yeah.
beards.
16.
Okay.
But definitely echoing what you said, do not stampede. We were actually in line for Smuggler's Run on Sunday, and I said this would be a horrible place for an earthquake. Not because of like when we were physically in the kind of like hangar type thing, moving into the more loading area. I was like, this would be a horrible place for an earthquake. Not because of the actual shaking, but because we were in a very small single file line, and everyone would freak out and stampede, and it would be Lion King. So yeah, just be
See,
careful.
you went Lion King and I went Old Western.
Woo.
I don't see the difference.
Okay, good.
My favorite Old
Listen to
Western
cast
is Lion
members,
King.
they probably know more than you do.
Most likely.
And they have been trained, and they know what you're supposed to be doing.
Yep.
So as much as you may think you know better, you don't. They probably are having you go whatever direction because somebody who's smarter than them told them to do the same thing. And there's always a system that is in place. And I know if my company has earthquake procedures, the Walt Disney Company definitely does. So follow them, and you'll make everybody safer.
Also, here's just a good general note, and it's something we experience at the Walt Disney Concert Hall. If a building has been built to withstand earthquakes, like the Walt Disney Concert Hall, like many of the structures at Disneyland, it will actually shake more than other structures will to help contain the integrity of it.
It was pretty cool.
So, the building we're in, we definitely felt it, but that was actually a good thing, and it was keeping us safe.
It was like it was one of the weirdest. We had the first one here.
Yeah.
Was that Thursday?
Yeah.
And I've definitely felt more unsafe in the smaller earthquake than the larger earthquake because it just felt solid.
Yeah.
It was good. All right, so there's your safety tips for earthquakes. Let us know if you were at Disneyland during the earthquake and what your experience was, and we'd love to hear that in the comments below. We've gotten a few from different people over the course of the week, and it's kind of interesting to see and hear and read. This week also, I believe it was yesterday, the Mulan trailer came out, and we got our first look at the newest live-action remake that is coming out of multiple as we continue along. Which also is interesting, as Aladdin is killing it. Yes.
Thank you so much. I was not going to acknowledge it,
but it's killing it at the box office, and I think it's the most successful live-action remake Disney's done. Which I love to hear because it kind of had a rocky beginning, I felt, from a PR standpoint and people talking about it. But it's just past 900 million at the box office.
And that is a direct response. If you are a member of the populace online that has complained about Disney only making live-action remakes, that's why.
It's making money.
They're still going to keep making them if they keep making money.
I liked it. So, Mulan, trailer. Go ahead.
It is everything that it should be. Especially in respecting where it comes from and respecting the Chinese storytelling aspect of Mulan. I know some people are kind of upset about the removal of Mushu and the removal of the songs, but I think that it has... I think the way they're using the score has a much more impactful storytelling.
Did you also notice the score was a...
Yeah, honor to us all.
Honor to us all. So it's using the old Jerry Goldsmith music. So I think it was respectful in that regard as well.
I think it was on Erhu as well. So like they're using traditional instruments.
It was actually a really cool.
But it just feels, the music feels more impactful and less showy, I guess is the way to put it. But it fits more with the story, and I'm very, very excited. I didn't know how I was gonna feel about it because I was like, I don't know. But after watching this trailer, I'm incredibly excited.
This might be the one that knocks Aladdin off the throne.
I think so too.
I think it will. I think I've mentioned on the show before the lead actress, and for the life of me I can never remember her name. But she has appeared in several action-heavy films, including Forbidden Kingdom, starring Jet Li and Jackie Chan, and that is one of my favorite films of all time, and she's wonderful in it. I have no doubt that she will be able to contribute to the action combat sequence of this
definitely
amazingly, which this trailer is the first one that really showed that off a little bit. I love that type of film, and it looks like they're really going to do it justice. This is, I think, the first live-action film I've truly been excited to go see. It's going to be good.
We did get another safety tip for earthquakes that I just feel like we should put in really quick for Cameron here. Not Rick. Verve on YouTube says, safety tip, stock up on Skittles and gravy.
That's true. It's a lifesaver in any situation. Powdered if you can get it.
Very... Sure. Yeah, but I was captivated the moment I saw the trailer, and I've watched it twice now, and I just think it's solid, and we are in for a treat when it comes out. And this is the first one where the first time we saw a trailer, I think we all were like, ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
And so I think that bodes really well for the future of this movie, and we'll let you know more as we know more, huh?
And it's deep. It's femininity and societal placement, showing the dichotomy of how that can be represented on both sides. It's like, oh yeah, this is a Disney film. I forgot. This is really deep content.
And it's
super good.
You can tell already that it's exploring the relationship with her father so much more. It's exploring the inner turmoil that she has, how she's been training this whole time type thing. I'm so and I wasn't sitting there comparing it frame by frame to the original at all.
Yep.
I'm very excited.
And I'm super excited to see Donny Osmond reprise his role.
Could you imagine?
All of that.
Poof, gone.
Be a man.
He appears out of nowhere, and they're like, what?
And that's the only song they use from the original movie. That would be pretty.
If they don't use Girl Worth Fighting For, it's not worth it. Best song in the film.
I agree, actually.
It's a really good song.
It is one of the funniest Disney songs ever. The other remake or not remake, but yeah, it's kind of a live action retelling of Sleeping Beauty is the continuation of Maleficent, which is Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, which had a trailer come out, the second trailer, this week. And I will admit, after watching it, I'm completely confused. And I now watched that one twice as well. And the first time I saw it, and I'm confused because I'm going first. I watched it and I went, huh, well, that's a choice. And then
Several of them on top of each other.
Many.
yes. And then we watched it again tonight. And my confusion went to the next level of why, and I don't get it. And maybe one of you can...
Well, I'll take a slight tangent before you get to your legitimate points. I saw the name Angelina Jolie and did not read that. I read Angela Lansbury, which would have been so much better.
So my question is, who would she play?
Oh, no, she'd be Maleficent, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
They just recast Angelina Jolie.
Yeah,
for no
exact
reason.
same costuming, decisions,
But it's
choices,
Angela
but it's
Lansbury.
Angela Lansbury. I would stand outside of that theater waiting for the next showing as soon as I was done.
Yeah.
I would be okay with that too. Yeah. All right. Legitimate point.
No, my problem.
No legitimate points.
No, there are no. It is illegitimate entirely.
My issue is that I am coming from as a person who has not seen the first Maleficent. And I said, hey guys, I have a lot of questions. Question 1, question 2, they could not answer them.
And we did see the movie.
And they did see the first
But that's
movie.
the problem, is I kind of thought the first movie ended in a certain place, and I'm not really sure how they got to where they're at in the next movie, and I'm kind of confused with the timeline now, and I'm just confused.
Yep. Let me bring up a point that I've brought up about other things. I think I had it in my 10 worst movie decisions. Great article, by the way.
11 now? Or what?
11. No, it's referenced in there.
Okay.
There are certain more crude and not safe for work choices to be made in films that I think have placement. If there's a reason for them, I can accept them and I can enjoy them in the film. If it is done out of context, or if it is simply done because you feel like the actor or actress felt it was necessary for their ego or something of the sort, it doesn't mesh well. And in this, I saw the same thing that Angelina Jolie did in another film you probably didn't see, Beowulf, where she chose to show more of her CGI self than she needed to.
Yep.
And
For no apparent reason.
that's the thing. There was no reason for it, and I'm sure narratively they'll try to
And it appears it's
convolute
in
one.
a battle scene,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
makes it even less...
It's like video game female armor. Why is
Yeah.
it like that?
Which is
But
parodied
less.
beautifully in the game Bayonetta as a lampoon of it, intentionally for that reason. But if the choice does not have a solid reason, but you instead have to come up with a reason for the choice, it doesn't work. And we can already see in that trailer that there's no reason.
So yes, we're very confused about this movie and how it's going to be whatever it is. Let us know what you think about it in the comments below, or tweet at us #GeeksCorner and let us know what you think this movie will turn into, because right now I just don't know. Like, at this point, I don't know that I even want to see it. We will see it because that's what we do.
Wait,
but
will we?
That's what we do.
Well, we gotta
That's what heroes do.
That's taking one for the team. If you would like to know, maybe you can tweet your questions about Maleficent later. Mike's asking, and we'll get through those, because I think we need another hour added to the show. Moving over to Disneyland, Halloween Screams is returning.
It's July. Happy Halloween, everybody.
This is what's great about Disneyland is in July, sometimes, well, really it was June, they start announcing Halloween stuff, and by the end of July, beginning of August, we're gonna know what's happening for Christmas.
Spooky, scary skeletons and
So I'm just excited that we're going to be able to watch it again
for
for the first time since the first year it came out.
I don't know that I've ever seen it. Like, I've seen it partially at least, but I've never fully seen Halloween Screams. So I'm very, very excited. I'm also very interested. Disney did a bit of a non-announcement by not talking about something. They kind of announced it, and Ghost Galaxy is not returning to the Disneyland Resort this year. Which I think is very interesting.
It is.
So are they going to have another extension of Hyperspace Mountain?
I hope so. I love Hyperspace.
No, so my thought when I read it wasn't, oh, it's because Ghost Galaxy doesn't perform well and it's not coming back. It's, oh, Hyperspace is staying.
Hyperspace. I still cry every time I go on Hyperspace. It's so
amazing.
good. It's so good. No, the one thing I'm going to be sad about Ghost Galaxy going away is the Ghost Galaxy's name is Dolores, which makes me think of Dolores Van Cartier, which is the nun from Sister Act that Whoopi Goldberg played. And thinking about that every year is a spot of light in my calendar, and I will miss that.
It's your regularly scheduled Think About Whoopi Goldberg day.
Well, it's either that or Guinan. Those are my choices for thinking about Whoopi Goldberg's. Like,
both are good choices.
Or the Cinderella film. You always forget she's in that. She's the mother of the prince.
You always forget about that.
She's good in that too.
Very good.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Also, Mickey's Sensational Parade will be saying goodbye next Wednesday, I think.
Don't like that.
Coming very soon. We will get video of that for you along with Disneyland's birthday celebration. And I think we have a chalk walk event that night. So we'll have lots of content coming out that week. But the next day, Mickey and Friends Fantastic Cavalcade will be coming to the Disneyland Resort. And you will get to see some of your friends. And I think it's interesting because the way it is described on the Disney Parks blog and dapsmagic.com very much reminds me, thank you, of the character fan days at Disneyland Paris, where they have a cavalcade of characters and the characters switch out with more rare characters each day. And it almost looks identical to that. So I'm kind of excited about this because I think that went over really well at Disneyland Paris. And I think it's going to, it's brilliant because it gives all of the local character fans reasons to come in every day because they might get to see different characters each day.
May I predict? May I suggest a lightning round?
Which characters?
Yeah, which characters?
Okay.
Jessica Rabbit.
Quasimodo.
I want the scary Jessica Rabbit.
I also
want the scary fairy godmother.
Although the plastic mask, yes.
I only want the scary characters.
Cool.
I only want the characters.
DuckTales, that's good.
Ooh.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge Claude Frollo, because he only ever comes out of Halloween. I want to see him riding on something.
Okay. I'd like to see the entire Robin Hood unit.
Oh,
all of them.
Well, like Friar Tuck, and that'd be great.
Yeah, Sheriff of Nottingham.
Nottingham.
I want to see
Little John.
Roger Rabbit.
That kind of goes in the same unit with. I feel like if you saw Jessica Rabbit, you'd see Roger Rabbit.
Ooh,
scary Jessica Rabbit.
The Power Rangers.
Yeah, the ones
they were at Disney.
The ones from MGM Studios.
Studio?
Disney's MGM Studios.
Thank you. Yes. Make sure you get that right.
Who?
And the Ninja Turtles.
You get the side eye.
What is the voice actor's name I'm thinking of? Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, Jim Cummings.
I want a Jim Cummings day for Cavalcade.
So Darkwing Duck. You want Winnie the Pooh. Tigger.
Hondo.
Which I don't think
he's just leading it. Just hello.
Welcome, my
hello, my friends.
No, I wouldn't be transporting characters. It's illegal shit.
That would actually be.
And your Cheshire from the audience, yes.
That's accurate.
That wouldn't be all there myself. It's slightly off poo is what Cheshire is, and I love that.
Yeah.
I mean that could be a very funny thing.
And Jim Cummings in the parade.
Just there.
He's
driving the Main Street vehicle.
Casually.
There you go.
Cool. I do think the really fun thing about this cavalcade is that the Disneyland band is a part of it.
I think that's the best thing about it.
I absolutely think
I love the
Disneyland
band.
Very excited about it.
I would love if they were playing
Music Man.
They said
because that's what I'm thinking.
They said Disneyland band.
It says Disneyland band.
Disneyland.
We're getting looks, but we go by the Disney official titles. We do what they tell us.
Disneyland band.
Lindband.
Disney Lin-Man.
We will confirm that, and if we're wrong, we will retract it
to the internet.
But let's go.
Internet.
But like so, music. I mean, obviously, it's just, I want to see him play Music Man though. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be cool.
76.
I would actually really like to hear them play the Mickey Mouse March, the original, like
the big fanfare one.
yeah, the one that
That'd
you
be
hear the
very
first
fun.
few seconds of in
The stinger. That's the noise. it makes.
Sensational, and then it stops.
Is it?
Atmosphere.
Yeah.
Atmosphere.
The Rock needed to come back on. Isn't
Can I
does.
cook or can't I? That was a Star Trek.
That was. She's not that far. Yeah, it says Mickey Mouse and his friends are joining the world famous Disneyland band for special performances.
Disneyland.
We are accurate in our reporting according to Disney. Yeah. So let us know what you'd like to see in this cavalcade, and
Tell us what character you want to see. Come on.
or
get obscure.
or unit. Like units would be cool too.
With pictures, because I know I have not seen all the characters that come out in the park. I would love to see some pictures.
Well, Powerline.
Florida has gotten some really cool ones. Paris has gotten some really cool ones. Actually, everywhere has had unique ones someplace.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what
Paris
would be
got
the
them all.
most obscure that they've had. I mean, Power Rangers are close.
Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles. Cowabunga, dude.
Also at MGM Studios.
I'm sure that would go over really well watching them go down Main Street, USA.
But like with the 90s, like
Yeah.
oh,
that'd be funny.
And they're
Alright.
each carrying a box of pizza.
of course.
Which, if you really want to drive people crazy, you buy an entire box of pizza in, what is it, Alien Pizza Planet now? And then you walk down the parade route 5 minutes before parade starts.
No, go. Oh,
It is one of the funniest things to do because you get all of the questions of, where did you get that? Can I get that? How much will you sell it for?
It's true.
It's very.
You wanna
don't
make a
sell
quick
it
buck?
though.
I've seen
Do
similar
not
things
do
doing
that.
with
Do not condone that.
we don't.
the half meter from Naples, which
true.
is
It's
big old
delicious.
square and it's great pizza, but
It is. We need to do
same
that
thing.
again.
So much pizza.
That would be a lot of fun. I'm checking out Twitter real quick. I want
Pretty, looking good.
Steven would like to see a Jungle Book, it looks like, because he wants to see Ka.
That'd be terrifying.
The Merry Penguin says it would be the absolute best moment for The Simpsons to make their Disney park.
Yeah, on the couch.
I would not be surprised if that actually happens at the D23 Expo.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I would not be surprised if we get a announcement in the, maybe not this one, but by the next one, so 2 years from now, Simpsons in a Disney park, maybe not domestically but globally.
You know what I see?
What?
I see them doing a small nod to it, and they put just on the border of the new Marvel Land comic book guy store, and then he sells the Marvel comics inside
be.
of there. That
Yeah.
would be awesome.
That's funny.
I don't know what the rights are because I do know there are some attractions that are Simpsons in the United States, so I kind of think it'd have to be overseas, but maybe they can make the nod. I don't know.
Yes.
Final thing for tonight is March of the First Order had its final march on, what was it, Saturday? It was the 6th. What day
That
was
was
that?
Saturday.
Saturday at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I have a feeling it's also had its final march here at the Disneyland Resort here in California. One, what did you think of this experience? 2, will you miss it? And 3, with what they have at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, has it effectively replaced it?
One, I am not surprised considering how much chrome polish the Phasma had to use daily.
True. She used a lot.
Must have, yeah. 2, I don't know if I'm going to miss it. It's very, very cool. I actually really enjoyed it. But to lead into 3, Galaxy's Edge is a much more immersive and unique experience. I could see some variation of that happening over there, but not in the rest of the park. It's not necessary.
I actually think it would be cool if they had a variation of it at
Yeah.
Galaxy's
That'd be
Edge.
super
But
cool.
on the flip side of that, I'm very entertained by the interactions that are already happening in Galaxy's Edge, whether it's Vi running around and getting arrested by stormtroopers on
Yes.
Sunday, or watching Chewbacca and Rey come up with a counterinsurgency with a bunch of, what were they, 5th graders or something?
It had to be.
Another Sunday to retake Batuu for the Resistance. Like, there's so many little stories going on instead of this big march through. I actually think it makes for a bigger, more interesting show. And I actually contend you could probably spend hours sitting on a chair in Galaxy's Edge watching the back and forth between the Resistance and the First Order and be completely entertained as you watch these little kids get into it and adults get into it and all of this other stuff that's going on. And then the people that don't want to get into it get pulled into it too, which is very entertaining.
Very funny.
Do you want to...
I think March of the First Order was great for what it was. It was a wonderful show that kind of drew people in the center of Hollywood studios.
Morgan Freeman did a great job narrating on it.
I think, honestly, yeah. I thought the fire part's really cool for March of the First Order. Like, I like pew pew. That's pretty cool. And I also like their show stops a lot. Their show stops were great. But, effectively, I think the Galaxy's Edge is way more interactive than the show stops were. And I think that it kind of amplifies what those show stops turned into of like, oh, we found a rebel spy type thing of here's their photo, come back for them type thing. And it makes it into a grander scale. So I think that they learned a lot of things from all the Star Wars that has been in the park and made all the great parts into Galaxy's Edge. So
the variation I would like to see in Galaxy's Edge is a simple march out, very similar to that. The only difference is that just above the banner over near the First Order side of the camp, General Hux comes out and does the speech from episode 7.
that'd be
Just
terrifying.
at noon every day.
As you watch everybody start running away.
No!
Oh, is that because that's when the sun is the hottest? Is that why
Yes.
he would do it at
Yeah,
noon?
absolutely.
Got it.
That
Wait
might
for it
be-
to crest over.
That might be a little bit much,
And
but
as a tangent, this whole week has been a discussion of that. That speech that Hux gives in 7 is quickly becoming my favorite part of all of the new films because you go back and watch it, you're like, oh, this is really good.
there is so
Yeah.
much in that moment.
so
we could do a
good.
whole episode on
so good.
that. What is it? 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From
If that
the way it was filmed to
wonderful
I
performance.
love The Force
Kudos.
Awakens.
yeah, it's very well.
much.
done. Anyway, we are reaching our time, Cameron.
We are.
TheGeeksCorner.com is probably where you're watching this now, but if you haven't checked it out already, you should see all of the other videos of other times we've talked about stuff and things.
Go to DAPSMagic.com, check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens, subscribe to our mailing list, and go to patreon.com/DAPSMagic and watch us take our horses to the Old Town Road and also ride till we can't no more and can't nobody tell me nothing.
And while you're at it, subscribe to this YouTube channel. We've got a ton of videos that are coming up throughout the summer and the rest of the year, including D23 Expo, more college band videos, whatever they're doing, and full coverage of Disneyland's birthday on July 17th. We will have both live stream and other videos afterwards. I have no clue what's going on. But that is all the time we have for you this week, so we will see you around the corner.